welcome back to... Ooh. Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy. And the headphones sound a bit weird, but you know what? Either way, in the last episode, we had continued on with Ace Attorney Dual Destinies, and we'd carried on with episode 5, Turnabout for Tomorrow. Now we found out that Athena wasn't the actual killer of her mother. A strange and mysterious man was. However, we don't know who that man is, as he was wearing a mask. Athena did do a little bit of stabby, but it was of this man. The man that we are deeming the Phantom. The Phantom of 7 years past and Clave Terran's murder are indeed one and the same. So let's go back into Turnabout for Tomorrow and let's finish off this case. Then what did you want from her? Did you really just go there, Your Honor? Or there's something I wanted to say. If you'll lend me an ear. I have in my possession a lead on who Metis's murderer is. You do? Right, Tono. You asked me about the identity of the Phantom of 7 years past. That's right. The Phantom. The person Blackwell has been looking for, even from behind bars. 7 years ago, somebody hatched a plan to sabotage the Hat-1 rocket. The spy. But he was no ordinary spy. We knew naught about him, his background, appearance. We came to refer to him as the Phantom. Well, this is fucking fitting music. The fuck is this? Hello? I mean, it fucking fits. The mysteriousness of the Phantom, the chaoticness that the Phantom has given us. Well, there you go. I'm gonna like it. Hell yeah. At the time, I was working with the police to hunt him down. And then, one day, a miracle occurred, and I obtained a lead on him. Oh, how exciting! What was the lead? A recording of the Phantom's voice, but the quality was too poor for proper voice analysis, yet I had hope. Laura's co-worker was a scientist who can analyze human emotions, so I asked her to evaluate the recording using analytical psychology. And that scientist was Dr. Sykes. Yes, a spy's greatest fear is to have his truth. Okay, so adding voices onto this now. Yeah, okay. I'm vibing to this music, I cannot lie. This is... I'm sorry, but the Ace Attorney games never fail with music. It really doesn't. In addition to Hat-1, Dr. Sykes' results and the recording was surely among his targets. But his search of the Space Center bore no fruit, so he must have started to panic. You couldn't find them? But where could they have been? Who is to say? Wow. I bet he's never let that out of his sight all these years. How in the world did you smuggle them into prison? Oh, I have my ways. What's more, my partner's especially talented at that sort of thing. Yes, I forgot about this burglary. What? I worked to lure the Phantom in by spreading rumors throughout the underworld. I was even granted permission to prosecute cases to attract the Phantom's attention. Just try to retrieve your identity, you bloody butcher, became my taunt. What about the results of Dr. Sykes? About the results Dr. Sykes drew up for you? Was there any useful information? Here, you can see for yourself, but take good care of it. It's all I have left of my mentor. I will. I'd better hold on to this real goddamn fucking tight. I know I don't swear in these things, but you know what, it's fine. The subject's emotions rarely fluctuate, and he doesn't experience feelings like normal people do. Interesting. Psychological profile. Classified. Emotional output of this voice extremely weak compared to typical voices. Subject deemed to have unique psychological makeup with almost no emotional fluctuation. Fucking hell. So there is little to no emotion behind the Phantom. Great, okay. And even if there is emotion, there's like so little of it. Right, okay. That's just great. No emotional fluctuation, huh? A spy who experiences no emotions, not sadness nor anger, and naturally no fear. He is the definition of a phantom, a monster with no heart. Don't you see? This creature is the rod that destroyed our lives and set what ails us all into motion. The Phantom indeed. A fitting name for one who has brought darkness to our world.
Well then, it seems a faint image of this man has started to take shape. Based on what I've learned, I'd like to all of you to conduct further investigation. This is not a formal trial, but I do want to follow protocol. If I may, I'd like to hand down my verdicts and bring these proceedings to an end.
Whatever, do what you want. You'll hear no objections from me? Yes, please, Your Honor. It's over. It's finally over.
Well, in that case, Mr. Blackwell, could you please take the stand? As a result of this trial, your innocence has been proven. The verdict handed down 7 years ago is hereby overturned. And now, the defendant of the gun trial, Mrs. Vienna Sykes.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Wright? Thank you. Thank you for everything. Athena, you're more than welcome.
If everyone is ready, I will now give my verdict.
Objection! I knew that was coming. But who from? Aura?
You.
Apollo? Apollo, the fuck are you doing? The fuck are you doing? Apollo?
What is the meaning of this?
Congratulations, Mr. Wright, and Prosecutor Edgeworth. You uncovered the truth from 7 years ago, and you saved Prosecutor Blackwell. However, I can't allow this trial to end just yet. Why, Apollo? Why would you do this to us? To be continued? No, I don't want it to be continued yet. No. Bastard. Bar steward. I guess now we're cross-examining Apollo. December 20th, District Court, courtroom number 4.
Mr. Justice, please explain yourself.
It's very simple. There isn't much to explain. The defendant, Miss Athena Sykes, might not be innocent. What are you talking about? The case from 7 years ago has been settled. I'm not talking about the past here. I'm talking about the present case. It's still not clear who killed Clay Terran. But, Paul, why would you... Miss Sykes, please listen quietly to what I have to say. What in the world is Apollo trying to do? Your Honor, please allow me a little of the court's time.
But this is a trial from the case from 7 years ago.
Miss Blackwell, I'd like to ask a favor of you. Just as you lost someone close to you, I lost someone close to me too. I'm sure you want to know the real truth of what happened as much as I do. Apollo. Sure, you know him all the truth. Now let's see you expose the little princess's guilt. Judge, I give my permission. Continue with the trial.
Very well. Is that all right with you, Prosecutor Edgeworth?
The prosecution has no objections. Now let's hear Mr. Justice's testimony. I'll have the police's investigation report brought immediately. Not you too, Edgeworth. Oh, I really hope it's something because you have something up your sleeve.
Very well. Your opening statement, please, Prosecutor Edgeworth.
As you wish. Let's review the case of the murder of Mr. Clay Terran. Give me a minute. Sorry, my father just called. He's currently staying in Warwick Castle for his wedding anniversary. In the castle itself. Bastard. Anyway, it was made clear in the previous trial that Solomon Starbuck was not his killer. Therefore, the true culprit was someone else. On that day, this culprit waited for the astronauts in boarding lounge 1 when the two men made their escape out of the Space Museum. And the killer attacked Mr. Terran with the same type of knife that was used 7 years ago. The murderer then escaped into the Space Museum. Next, Director Kiori Cosmos switched the launch pads. After that, the culprit exited the Space Museum and escaped via boarding lounge 2. Therefore, this trial must make clear who Mr. Terran's true killer was. In other words, we must discover who it was that escaped through the Space Museum that day.
Thank you, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Mr. Wright, is the defense ready?
Yes, Your Honor. I better rearrange my evidence. Relevant evidence swapped into the court record.
Now then, Mr. Judge, your testimony, if you please.
Oh my god, that cat needs to shush. I love cats, but my god, it's irritating. I suspected Miss Sykes of the murder of Clay Terran. My growing suspicions were confirmed when this incriminating evidence presented itself. In addition, she's the only one who could have utilized the launchpad switch to escape. That is why I managed to indict Miss Sykes on the charge of murder.
Order in the court. Mr. Justice, you realize you are charging your own co-worker with murder, don't you?
Yes, Your Honor. That's because that is the conclusion my investigation has led me to. But, Apollo, why? How could you suspect me too? Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Shut up, cat. I will kill that cat if I must. I won't, but God, it's irritating. I love cats with all my heart, but God, it is being irritating at the minute. There we go. I don't get it. What did you find out over the past few days to make you think this? Cross-examination.
Hold it!
What first made you suspicious of Miss Sykes? It all started when Miss Sykes and I were investigating the crime scene, when she saw the weapon that killed Mr. Terran. My bracelet reacted. She said she'd never seen a knife before, but my bracelet told me otherwise. And then every time after that, my bracelet would react when she talked about the case. Poor Apollo must have been beside himself during that investigation. I didn't know what to do or think. I couldn't even sleep. In that condition, I knew I wouldn't be any good in court, so I decided to wear an eye patch so I wouldn't be able to perceive any of her tells. So that's why Apollo was acting so strangely. But the reason Miss Sykes unconsciously reacted to the knife is that way is because she stabbed her mother's murderer with one identical to it 7 years ago. But that knife was also the murder weapon that was used to kill Clay Terran. My bracelet could have also reacted to her because she knew she was his killer too. I guess he has a point. My bracelet wasn't the only reason I became suspicious of her.
Hold it!
That's the lighter that was found in the Space Museum, with her fingerprints on it, right? But even if it seems decisive, there must be other facts we don't know about it yet. If that's so, go ahead and prove it then. Look, honestly, I don't want to believe it's true either, but Miss Sykes was the only one who was in the Space Museum at the time of the murder. Mr. Justice, Miss Sykes had absolutely no motive to kill Mr. Terran. 7 years ago, Miss Sykes lived at the Cosmos Space Center. It wouldn't be strange if she had some kind of connection to him. Besides, people sometimes kill for motives we can't even imagine. I know you've seen plenty of cases like that in your own career, Mr. Wright. I still can't believe this. How can you really actually suspect Athena, Apollo?
Hold it!
Isn't it possible that somebody else used the same escape route? I'm afraid not, Mr. Wright. Why not? Recall there is a security camera on board in Lounge 1 aimed at the launchpad door. It's the camera that captured Mr. Terran and Mr. Starbuck. There's also another security camera in board Lounge 2. It recorded Mr. Terran's killer, or rather Miss Sykes, coming out of the Space Museum. The camera on board Lounge 2? First I've heard of it, but makes sense. Then she snuck into the Space Museum the night before the incident, and then was overcome and passed out until around noon that next day. I didn't even know about the explosions. When I woke up, nobody was around, so I just went out into Boys Lodge 2. That must have been when the camera captured her. That's what made Apollo suspect her even more. But wait a minute. In that case, most likely recorded the true culprit as well. That's a negative on that one too, Mr. Wright. In the footage taken after the incident, Miss Sykes is the only one who appears. What? Why?
Order in the court.
That can't be. But if it is, then it is incredibly incriminating.
Wasn't it you who proved in the previous trial that the way the true culprit escaped was via the Space Museum after the pads had been switched? The fact you previously proved turned on its ear, leaving your client high and dry. I must say, that is vintage Phoenix Wright.
Oh, shut up, Edgeworth. Just because we've crossed swords a few times doesn't mean you get to do that. Say that to me. Fuck you. Believing your client to the end is a basic principle of good defense. Can you extend the same principle to your own co-worker? You're probably right. Maybe I'm not even fit to be a lawyer. However, I don't care. This case is special to me. Blaine is my friend. And that's why I just have to know the truth. Apollo suspected his trusted co-worker killing his friend. To dispel his doubts, he investigated on his own, but that only led to more doubts. Apollo must have been really struggling with this. Well, Apollo may have doubts, but... I'll say it again. Athena Sykes isn't the murderer. And I have only one thing to say. Evidence is everything in court. Well, Mr. Wright, think you have concrete proof to knock down my arguments?
Your arguments have been very clear, Mr. Justice. The facts appear to be indisputable.
Well, Mr. Wright, what do you think of my theory? Looks like even you can't... Like, not even you can deny it. Miss Sykes was the only one who used... Oh, Miss Sykes was the only one who used the only possible escape route. Under these circumstances, there can be no other suspect but the defense. Unless... you think there was an alternative escape route. Is that what you think, Mr. Wright?
Is that what you think, Mr. Wright?
Is that what you think, Phoenix? Was there an alternative escape route? Of course, because it's the only way it makes sense. Yeah, of course there must have been. Just don't ask me what. Because I don't know myself, but I'm going to say yes, because it's the only way where Athena isn't going to be indicted of murder. I just don't know yet. You're just bluffing again, aren't you? Me? Bluff? No way. He knows it too well. It's fine, Mr. Wright. Even a bluff would suit me just fine. As long as you can... clear up this doubt inside me! Wait. So is that what this is all about? I want to believe in Athena, I really do. But what is faith without doubt? That's why I need to question her guilt. So once the truth finally comes out, I can really fully trust her. So you can really trust me? It seems your junior partner has just showed us what trials are truly all about. I believe you're right. We prosecutors painstakingly question every detail in pursuit of the defendant, while we lawyers believe and defend our clients to the end.
When both sides go all out against each other, that's when we discover the truth.
Precisely. But when the battle is over, we will understand the true meaning of trust. That is exactly what trials are about, wouldn't you agree? Yeah, I couldn't ignore the seed of doubt that was growing inside me, so I decided to face it head on. No matter what the truth is that's waiting ahead, I won't be afraid! That's so like Apollo, always uber earnest about things like this. Mr. Justice, I vow to dispel every last bit of doubt in your heart. Good, because I want to believe in Miss Sykes again. You're really hoping there was an alternative route, aren't you, Apollo? But if I use the process of elimination, there really aren't that many possibilities. Director Cosmos was at the southern exit, leaving only the control room and the corridor to the Space Museum. Which door could the culprit have escaped through? Come on, Mr. Wright, where do you think the culprit escaped to?
Take that!
They really only could have escaped to the corridor to the Space Museum. All they had to do was use the unconscious Mr. Starbucks Prince to get through the door. It appears that all you're trying to establish is Miss Sykes' guilt. If the culprit used that as route, the only exit would have been to boarding lounge 2. The logical conclusion of your argument is the killer is none other than the defendant. I knew it. As soon as it could be, huh? The culprit escaped into the corridor that leads to the Space Museum. I guess it's true. The only exit would have been into boarding lounge 2. But Miss Sykes was the only person captured by the boarding lounge 2 security camera. I investigated the crime scene thoroughly. The only place the culprit could have escaped to was the Space Museum corridor. There weren't any secret corridors or anything. So that leaves us with no other conclusion to draw but that Athena Sykes was the culprit. What could the answer be? Was there really no other escape route? But hold on a sec. What if? Where did those mysterious leaves we saw in the corridor come from? What if they're a clue to the culprit's real escape route? I think it is possible that the culprit escaped into the Space Museum, but then came out using a route other than into boarding lounge 2. Oh, Launchpad 1 of the Space Museum was switched after the bombing, meaning the Space Museum corridor was moving along the rail at the time, which is exactly when an alternative escape route opened up for our culprit. Are you kidding me? Judging by the intense look in your eyes, I take it you're serious. Very well then, Mr. Wright, do tell. Where could the culprit have gone from the corridor besides boarding lounge 2? Now, I'm assuming Launchpad 1 going either to the launch site or somewhere like there, like the wall or something. The ladder! Wait. It's this. Was lowered to the ground from the window of the 4th floor robotics lab. It would have gone that way. It's the emergency ladder. Got it. I know. I got it. Okay, fair enough. Fair. I got nothing else to say. Fair enough. We found something odd while investigating Museum Corridor this afternoon. Namely, a few dead leaves on the floor. Considering where dead leaves come from, they point us to exactly where the culprit escaped to. Yeah, I remember seeing some leaves myself. Ah! Do you mean... Yep, while the Space Museum was in motion just beyond the corridor's safety door, was an alternative place that the culprit could use to escape. In other words, the culprit's real escape route was the area outside the Space Center. You're freaking insane!
Objection!
Do you know how impossible that would be? The corridor level is level with the third floor. Even if the culprit tried to leave outside the wall of the Space Center building, it fell to their death.
Objection!
Ordinarily, yes, but after the bombing incident, the culprit could make use of a certain item. And what item was it exactly, Mr. Wright? Alright, this is what the culprit used to leave to the outside wall of the main building.
Take that!
The ladder! An emergency ladder? There was an emergency ladder in the 4th floor robotics lab, and it was used that day after the explosions to help evacuate people. Miss Blackwell herself used that ladder to escape down to the ground level. Recall the launch pads were switched after the ladder was lowered. The corridor would have passed by the ladder while the pads were being switched, and that's when the culprit literally sprang into action. Oh, this is clever. This is very clever and good. Very clever indeed. And leapt onto the ladder. What? Who would have imagined?
Order in the court. Well, an alternative escape route seems to have emerged.
Which means someone other than Miss Sykes could have been the culprit, right?
Objection!
Making things up on the fly in an attempt to sway the court again, are we, Mr. Wright? Your theory has so many holes, it puts Swiss cheese to shame.
Alright then. Name one. I have here detailed information about the Space Center. According to this, the distance between the museum corridor and the main building during movement is a full 20 feet. 20 feet? You're pulling my leg, right? In addition, the corridor is 3 floors from the ground, or roughly 50 feet. What's more, the culprit would be leaping onto a precarious place. An unstable ladder. Yeah. Human beings feel fear in dangerous situations. It's a basic survival instinct. An ordinary person would certainly hesitate before jumping. Ah, for you see though, that's an ordinary person. Not, on the other hand, a phantom, whose emotions rarely fluctuate and doesn't experience feelings like normal people do. Normal feelings such as, I don't know, fear? Or even freeze in fear and not jump at all.
Objection!
But the culprit had just murdered someone. They weren't in an ordinary state of mind. Objection! Nevertheless, why would they have taken that kind of risk? They could have waited for the switch to be complete and escaped to boarding lounge 2.
Objection!
So there was a security camera in boarding lounge 2. Culprit knew they would be recorded if they left the Space Museum that way.
Objection!
In that case, the culprit could have hidden in the museum until things settled down, and then blended in with other people after the museum was opened. That's a good point. But you claim that, despite all this, the culprit took a full 20-foot death-defying leap, and all in a brief moment the corridor and ladder passed by each other. That's also a good point. They would have needed a running start while the corridor was moving to make that jump. If their timing was off, or if they couldn't jump far enough, it would have been instant death. What kind of person would attempt something like that? Stop bringing up good points, Edgeworth. This true culprit of yours is nothing but a figment of your imagination. Why do you always have to point out every flaw? Mr. Edgeworth's right. That does sound pretty insane. Connor would have had to be someone who feels no fear, like a stuntman. But everyone feels fear on some level, right? Wait a minute. Aha. I've got it this time. I can prove that there is someone who could have used this alternate escape route. Oh, can you now? This proves the possibility of a person who could have used this alternative escape route.
Take that!
What's that, Mr. Wright? This is a certain person's very interesting psych profile. The subject doesn't experience feelings like normal people do. In other words, this person doesn't feel happiness, sadness, or fear. Doesn't feel fear? Right. You can't be serious. Without the constraint of fear, he could easily do what an ordinary person wouldn't dare. Just as you or I could do a broad jump on the ground without the slightest fear. This subject could make a 20-foot leap 50 feet up in the air. He could choose an extreme way of escaping without hesitation. So you're saying that to a person without fear, the alternative route would be quicker and eliminate the chance that they'd be spotted? That's definitely pretty extremist, alright?
But was there such a person there at the scene?
Yes. The Phantom. That mysterious shadowy figure who keeps popping up.
Oh dear.
The Phantom. Again? I knew the Phantom was there behind the scenes of the Space Center bombing. I wasn't sure if he was connected to the murder of Clay Terran as well. However, now it's all clear. The Phantom is the one who not only bombed the Space Center, but also clayed Mr. Terran. Did I just say clayed Mr. Terran? I mean killed Mr. Terran. But that's a very funny joke, and very funny pun that I just made.
Order, Nicole, what do I say? Mr. Wright, please continue.
There was just too many similarities between this case and the one from 7 years ago. But why, you may ask? Can only be because both incidents were the work of the same Phantom. So this Phantom is the one who killed Clay? But who is he? This Phantom has been haunting this case, pulling the strings in the background. Who could this unidentified international spy be? Right, this escape route must have been a part of the Phantom's plan from the start, as was tricking Director Cosmos into switching the launch pads. The bomb on the second floor was meant to make the elevators and stairs unusable. That's why he gave advance warning and planted the bombs where he did. Yes, I think you're right. But it doesn't explain this one last thing. So I left my emergency ladder like a detective lead me evacuation told me to. It was such a pain, why couldn't he just use the ladders in the other rooms? The 1X lab wasn't the only room with an emergency ladder, but he couldn't have made that leap unless he was certain which one it would be. So you mean... the Phantom must be someone who knew that our particular ladder was going to be used? That's right. Shit. Oh, fuck. That is actually the sound of my heart shattering. Fuck. Oh. Fuck. Hi. Phantom. Oh, fuck no. No, 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 no. Not Fulbright. Not Fulbright. No. But think about it. He was the detective assigned to this case and he led the evacuation. He was the one that was like, oh, he was the one that told Aura, put your emergency ladder up and drop it down and go on this escape route. It was him that told Aura to do it. Fuck. Wait a minute. So I lowered my emergency ladder like the detective leading the evacuation told me to. Miss Blackwell lowered the ladder after being told to by the detective leading the... You gotta be kidding me.
Did you figure out it right? Did you figure it out right? Do you know who the Phantom is?
Yeah, I do. Who is it? Who killed Clay?
A mystery spy known as the Phantom is none other than... I really don't want to do this.
It was Candy's arm.
No. God damn it, man.
What about my justice? After explosions, a member of the staff crossed paths with a certain detective. I was on duty on the 4th floor. It was quite the madhouse, I tell you. As for the detective who was leading the evacuation from the 4th floor, he had a very specific objective in mind. So I lowered my emergency ladder like the detective leading the evacuation told me to. His objective was to secure his own escape route. We lowered an emergency ladder from a 4th floor window and escaped that way. And no, I'm not going to do the voices because, I mean, can't really tell who's talking at the minute, even though we do know, but it's like, this is actually hurting me. Fuck. Okay. Once everyone else got out safely, I made my way down 2 and headed to the shelter. This is a detective you all know. He's even the lead detective on the current case. He appears to be a very emotional man, but his psych profile says he is without emotion.
Take that!
What are you saying? You mean the Phantom is...
The detective from Bobby Fulbright?
Exactly. You're all taken in by his fake persona. Detective Fulbright's real identity is the Phantom.
Order the court. Mr. Wright, how could this be?
That's easy, Your Honor. Detective Fulbright was leading the 4th floor evacuation effort. Our first clue is that he made no attempt to have any other ladder put to use. The ladder in the robotics lab is the only one he ordered to be lowered. The second is that he directed everybody to the basement shelter via this ladder. Verily, it was all part of his plan to create an escape route. After Detective Fulbright saw to it that the ladder was lowered from the robotics lab, he went to the lounge where he killed Clay Terran and escaped to the Space Museum. The museum side is moving slowly, so we waited for the right time, got a running start, and just as the corridor was passing the ladder, he leaped onto it. I don't believe it. That addle-padded detective did all that. Sorry, I just completely skipped that line. Was it really him? I mean, all this time I thought... Sorry, I didn't catch your name. Your name? I'm Bobby Fulbright, the heroic detective who defends our good citizens from evil. Champion of justice, come running whenever you need it. And my catchphrase, in justice, we trust. And his concern for Simon was also just one big act. I swore to report Prosecutor Blackwell and make him a valued member of society again, so I can't just sit by and watch him give into his emotions and tear the defendant apart. That monster killed Clay. He had me completely fooled. Come think of it, he's the one who brought that bloodstained light to the court too. The scumbag even made me turn on Athena. Damn it! How the hell did I fall for all that? For him to have worked his way to this police department as well. Your other defense demands a question, Detective Bobby Fulbright.
Yes. I agree that we need to hear from him right away. The Lord will take a short recess and then Detective Fulbright will take the stand.
Yes! Oh, for God's sake. I'm still here, I'm just using my PlayStation 5. Thank you so much, Mr. Hyde. If it wasn't for everything you did, I... Don't thank me yet. We still have an uphill battle to fight. You got it, boss. Apollo. Well, this is, awkward. Athena, can you do me a favor? Huh? What is it? Could you... punch me, please? What? Why should I do that? Because I should have believed in you. I let the seed of doubt inside me get the best of me. I'm really sorry that I didn't trust... Ouch! Don't be such a dope! I was really touched by what you did. Huh? Now what are you talking about? Well, I believe in Athena. I really do. All is faith without doubt. That's why I need to question her guilt. So once the truth finally comes out, I can really finally trust her. I took the time and effort to genuinely think about who I am and what I'm made of. After all that, how can I punch a true friend like you, Apollo? You didn't have any trouble slapping him a second ago, but, you know, whatever. Thanks, Athena. And thanks for waking me up to reality again. Guess I know now who to call if I ever get sleepy in court. It looks like you have some promising young people working under you. Hello, Edgeworth. Edgeworth? Yeah, I think they're pretty great myself. And they're not afraid to keep me in line. Anyway, there is some very good news. Aurora Blackwell has surrendered and the hostages have been set free. Do you see all the others? Oh, thank goodness. Miss Blackwell said she had something she really needed to do, so I granted her special permission to do what she must. I don't know what it is. Miss Blackwell! I didn't come to apologize, if that's what you're thinking. My actions won't allow the truth of what happened 7 years ago to come to light. But I did come because I had something to say to all of you.
Miss Ara.
She better not be here to complain about something. Miss Blackwell, I want to apologize to you. The fact that you couldn't trust the court system is our fault. Yes, it's true the courts are filled with incompetent idiots. Still, suppose I can let you handle the rest of this case for me.
Oh, Miss Ara, does this mean you're starting to trust the system again?
No, of course not. Be quiet, hunker junk.
It's just, I wouldn't mind if you're the ones who took matters to scale it down. Leave it to us. We'll get him. So I guess that means she's starting to trust us at least. Or, Simon, so glad that you and the princess were cleared of all suspicion. It's all thanks to me and my robots. You better be grateful. I never imagined you would go that far. Though you always were extreme. But I never recall ever requesting your help. As close as ever, I see. Well, now that you've been released, I guess it's my turn to go live in this slumber. I just hope you're not the prosecutor for my trial. You'd probably give me a death penalty.
You know me all too well.
I guess love can take on a variety of expressions, including stunted in their case. But I truly was about to be executed tomorrow, though because of you it looks like I won't be crossing the Styx just yet. You have my heartfelt thanks, Aura. I'm sorry I caused you so much anguish. Simon? Oh, I'm so glad, Simon. So very glad to hear you say that.